Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is part 2. In this video I'm going to try and solve and fix the problem with the light cluster informs the computer that there's a bulb out, and then it appears on the dashboard and there's an irritating bleeping noise when you first start the engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just looking at the bulbs now, and one of the, when you look at this, it's had a long life, and I'm actually going to renew the side light and the stop and tail light because they've had their life, they're nearly burnt out, and it'd be silly to put it all back together and then maybe in a few weeks, months during the winter the bulb goes out. So what I'm going to do is going to clean each contact. I'm going to make sure that it's nice and clean, that the bulb's clean, that the contact is clean, and that when I do put it back together, each bulb has a good solid contact. It might be carbon built up on maybe one contact or a plug. I'm going to look at the multi-plug to see if there's anything in there where maybe one of the spare terminals is dirty. But I'm just going to clean it and hopefully solve the problem. Hopefully. So, and again, I think this needs to be glued back in place. So wish me luck. It's all clean. I've cleaned the multi-plug, and as you've seen on the time lapse, I've cleaned all the contacts using some WD-40 substance. I've also used a brush that you see here, and I've also bent the earthing contact and the positive contact of the bulb, so there's greater pressure there. And I think over the number of years, that's slightly weakened. If you look at the side light, into focus, it's still working. I know some people say, just put it back in, just put it back in. But to access this lamp cluster, you've got to remove it. You can't, replace a bulb in situ. You've got to remove it. And yes, it may take 10 or 15 minutes to remove the lamp cluster. However, to be honest, I'll renew it now. And I'm not going to wait to the winter months when it's all rainy, it's cold. You do have a side light out or a stop and tail which is somewhere, but I think both bulbs need to be renewed, and it's one of those where prevention's better than cure. I've checked the other bulbs, I've cleaned them, I've cleaned the multi-plug, and that this is ready to go back in. I'm just going to point out that I'm going to glue this part. It just falls apart. So this is just to trim, this boot trim, you can see here. I'm just going to glue it back in. It doesn't need to come out. And hopefully that's going to cure the problem, I hope. So again, I'm going to do that to the other lamp cluster. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm at this point before I take the bumper off and install the new sensor. I'm going to polish the exhaust tips, and also I can get to them. If I take the bumper off, I can actually get to them far better than if the bumper was in situ. So that's what I'm going to do, and you can see if I just pan round the hole where the new sensor needs to go into. So that's another, it shouldn't take me long. Wish me luck. Welcome back. Well, I'm to the point now. I've cleaned the exhaust tips. I have cleaned the contacts on the rear lenses. They're all clean now. So what I've been doing for, I would say, for the last hour is just cleaning, making sure that everything, when putting it back together, it's just going to be a piece of cake. So now, again, that magical time lapse of just putting the bumper back on it. All the wires are secure, and if I just come down, you could just see how they're plugged in. Some people have commented on the channel that I am just, well, fiddly and just doing things, you know. This is all actually ultra clean. You can see that. To follow the cable, you can see there's another one. Again, the cable's nice and clean. Cleaned all the contacts. I glued this sensor, just see there. There you go, you can see that in shot, and you can see the glue part here, just there. See the glue? So now, this is the big reveal. Is it going to work? I'll be able to hear the bleeps of the reversing sensor when I walk past. So wish me luck. And this is not rehearsed. Trying to find my keys. They were already in the ignition. And I think they are working. If I go, and you can hear that. If I come closer and closer and back. Actually, they're working. And I'm going to stop there. I'm working. I'm pleased about that. I need to put it all back together. I'm going to put some loom tape on the connectors. Again, I'll be cleaning them. I can't remember if I've cleaned them already, but you can see it's absolutely ultra clean. And I'll just check the exhaust tips because now I have more access, but it's all clean. This is the faulty sensor. And this repair job up to now has cost me £22.50. So I'm happy about that. And if you can see, it's all colour coded. This is the sensor here. Yeah, it matches. So yeah, I'm pleased about that. I now have reversing sensors, and hopefully when I plug the lights in, there'll be no more warnings of, you know, bulbs out. So, wish me luck. Bumper's nearly on. This was very, very difficult to pull the amplifier out to get to those two bulbs, or I should say two nuts. But they are impossible because they sit behind the amplifier. So I've had to pull all the amplifier out, connect the cables, just to get those two nuts. So, well on my way now. all back together. Rubber's back. You would never think it's actually been apart. So let's get the clusters in. Do one at a time. I've got nobody here to actually check with me, so I'm going to use the camera to check. Right, let's try this one. Right, let's watch it back. Well, it's all back together. That's another 2 jobs completed. I am near the end now. Little things like putting a fuel filter on, service the brakes, and then that's it. That is the end. This car is serviced and all faults are fixed. And I mean, there's not one fault. I shouldn't say that, because I'm sure I'll jump in the car now and something will happen with the engine management. For fingers crossed, you know, like, share, subscribe. It's one of those Bangonomics where you just keep fixing and fixing till you get to the end of the list. I will give it a good wash, and for the winter. It's coming in now, it's the end of August, and you can feel autumn is just round the corner. So like and share, subscribe to the channel. I'm sure there's going to be more on my MG and other cars. So bye for now. With all that tinkering, just to show you, there are no warning lights on the dashboard. And then if I place it into reverse, and then you can hear the sensor, and if I take that off, and then if I just into drive, and then again, makes me a happy man. Okay, bye for now.